So here's the thing. No more alligator signs for 4 days. No. This right down there is where I was chased. But, you can see the pollen. Maybe. It tends to all go back over towards the lily pads at the end of the night. Yeah, there's some over there. You'll notice it does not look like alligators are swimming through it. I said you'll notice it doesn't look like alligators are swimming through it, unlike the first one I showed. That was the original alligator slide up with a bunch of tree branches on it. It came up like that. Went across there to the field and down into there. And watch. The grass is starting to come back up, but notice the holes. Not look like somebody might have been going down there and laying down too. Just saying. Exactly. Starting to stand back up again, just like the lily pads are. And the wildlife guy said, no more alligators. There's no signs. But there was. Definitely was. I think I saw 2 different ones 6 times. 5 one time, 5 one day, and 1 day. And then disappeared. But look, does that not look like? Totally. Yeah. I mean, it's so dumb to go down there and look at it. That, see where I go. There you go. Okay, really? I think there was something in the horse pasture, and the horses weren't over. I hate to turn my back on this flipping pond, but they were going down here into the horse pastures and sunning. All this was as high as a horse's shoulders until he cut it down because I was flipping out because of the alligators. Everyone was like, has anyone told you you're crazy? I said, no, they believe that I saw what I think I saw. But they want to see it to believe it for themselves. And that's true, and I haven't had any such good luck. Everyone goes, oh yeah, they're definitely bedding down in the lilies. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's definitely a slide they're coming out over there. I know. And they're definitely feeding it here. I know. But there's no alligators anymore. They're gone. I said, with such a rich food source, why? It's a stock pond, 75 feet from chickens, 100 yards from a river. Dogs around it all the time, 30 feet deep, 2.5 acres large. Come on, why would they leave? Well, for the last week, we have fucking unloaded about 200 rounds in the water, in addition to driving around the sucker with a lawnmower, cutting everything we could every single day from 7 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. every day. So, then last night there was 20 minutes worth of fireworks. It sounded like someone was bombing the place, and they were like commercial, so it was a big deal. And every Wednesday and Saturday night, the owner has a, if you can see it over there, a barn that the top has been converted into a man cave. And of the man cave, it's got like 2 6-foot speakers that are like 2 foot wide, like concert, like it'd blow a concert out, seriously. And turns it up to where you can hear it like 3 blocks away. And we're in the woods. So, all that vibration, all that activity this week made them leave, is what they said. And I haven't seen a sign, and I've hung meat with no hooks, just meat on strings, and kite string at that. And it's gone undisturbed. I haven't seen any more signs. And I put all these like little tree branches up there so I could see if they were going in and out anywhere else, even once, because the branches would be moved, right? Nope, not yet. Oh, look at that. Look at that fucking name. That's a big ass wave there. Yeah, look at that wave. That's crazy. There's not an ounce of, well, I've just been fascinated with the pond since I got here, but this is insane. It's There's no fish big enough to make that kind of wave without any wind. What the hell is that? That's crazy. But there's been weird stuff in this pond ever since I got here, like I saw it like an ocean. It was like rocking, and there was like 3 and 4 foot waves coming up out of it when it rained one time. And it's so well designed. I don't think it could ever be flooded. Plus, it's 2.5 acres. Can you imagine how much rain would have to come down to flood it? Florence, let me know that it could happen in a matter of maybe 6 hours. Definitely. I mean, it's built up. We're up on a hill, 30 feet up. All the guts from the pond are what built it up. Not this side, but the other side, 30 feet up. So, like, sorry, mosquitoes are kind of bad over here. So if any water came over the wall, this is just a flood wall. This is the wall that runs about 100 feet from here to the dock, which is all in front of my house to help it keep, flooding my house. Over right there. And about 20 feet from the water. And one day there was, the pond was covered with pollen. Now this pollen's only been here since after the storm, which has been about a week ago. 8 days, something like that. Anyway, the pollen was covering the pond, and it looked like, and I taped it for like 30 minutes before I realized how stupid I was. But I taped it, and it looked like alligators were, or a alligator or whatever, a big one, was trolling the pond. It'd go a little ways this way and turn before it got to the bank and then swirl back the other way. And it would look like a snake would make marks in sand, only it was that way to the pollen on the water. Yeah. It even had like a whippy tail look to it. And I got 30 minutes of that. And then I talked myself out of anything being here. And I was bringing my laundry down. I was about to come down this way here, which is my path. It goes down there. My path comes down here, go down there, and then I go back behind those bushes to my house. And then the the bomb shelter underneath it is my washer and dryer. So I was going down there to do my laundry, and it was 8:20 in the morning. Once I got to what I considered to be the slide, I mean, I didn't know it was there until I walked up on it. I was so excited because nobody believed me. Nobody's seen anything, and I couldn't prove anything. I was like, got a picture? Shit, no, shit happens fast. So anyway, the place I was going to walk down is right there. And right here is where the original slide was. I put all these branches and stuff to just do anything I can to deter it. However, it's not happening now. It's the same. I put up a wildlife camera here. Because there's still something guarding inside of this. And it's creepy. I don't know what it is. I haven't seen it. But it gets going, and you can tell it's going fast because the water starts moving behind the wall and not on the other side. And if you back up, it goes faster. So I'm trying to figure out what it is. I think it might be this copperhead that's huge, about as big around as my arm, but not very long, maybe about 5 feet long. Mosquitoes. And I'm just trying to find out what it is because I haven't seen it, but I did see the snake over by the dock when I was hanging the chicken out to see if there was going to be any takers on it. Mosquitoes. They're terrible right here, but nowhere else. It's weird. I guess chickens don't come over here that much. Don't know. Anyway, baited up a couple pieces of rotten beef ribs and stuff, and tied them on strings. Threw them over just a bait. Threw a whole pound of lizards over there, just to like chum them. And nothing. So I'm ecstatic. I think I got no alligators. That's anyway when I built this stupid wall. I know it's nothing that would possibly keep them out, or hardly deter them at all, or even slow them down. It's all made up of shit and trash, literally, because I was terrified. But literally, I made it up. Kayaks, canoes, chairs, wood, metal, trash, literally trash cans, chairs. I mean, literally everything. It took me 20 hours to secure it. But the thing was, is it gives me a half a second to get the hell away from them. I'm good. And that's where I usually walk my dogs and everything, and they like to, for whatever reason, they like to poop right at the water's edge. So see right here, I have a rope, not rope, it's a 3-ply kite string. And I tied a piece of meat onto it, and I threw it over, just suspending it above the water on the other side. And the only thing I've seen for activity has been that snake, and it was underneath a piece of chicken. I got like 1.5 pounds of chicken tied up on one of them over there. And we put the wildlife camera on it, and no activity. There was 8 pictures, and I think they were all of me. Well, hell, I like that compared to alligators all day long. All pretty day long. I've never been so terrified in my entire life. It's not easy being a country girl. I'm going to tell you that right now. I didn't have any idea it was going to be a challenge at all. But I believe the first thing that happened to me is I got a tick in my belly button. I thought, what in the world is this piece of dirt? Yeah, it wasn't dirt. And then I didn't get the head out, and then it got infected. Okay, that's one issue. About 3 weeks later, the branch was hanging down the driveway, and I told the landlord, please cut that tree. It's scratching my car. And he didn't do it. And in about another week, I got pissed off and all hot and jumped out of my car one day when I was on the way down the hill out of the driveway, and it was just about to touch my car, and I just parked it. Jumped out, jumped up. I'm 52 years old. I don't need to be jumping up nowhere. But I jumped up. I was so mad I didn't even know what the hell. I jumped up, grabbed that branch, and I pulled it down, and then I started snapping off parts that were going to scratch my car and throwing them. And apparently that's how you get chiggers, because then I was eaten alive by chiggers. That took me another good week to figure out how to fix. That was a terrible thing you want to itch your skin to death. Okay, and then no, it doesn't even begin to end there. I don't know if you can see what's going on up here. The reflections make it hard for you to see, but there's a lot of ripples going on. Fish feeding. I just have a bunch of bread and stuff. Anyway, so then the next thing was, me and one of my dogs kept getting all these like little red bites on us or something. I thought it was spiders. I was like, oh my god. So for the next 3 weeks, I like treated all the house, all the inside, all the outside, the windows, the doors, the cracks, the corners, the ceiling, everything with peppermint, essential oil for spider spray. And then I took it steps and steps further. I was using eucalyptus oil and good grief, everything they hate, everything that was just clove oil, spearmint. I mean, everything you can think of that smells really, 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 really strong. Now imagine it in essential oil, and I put it thick all around, and still kept getting bites. And then you know, I was researching how to get rid of spiders and all this stuff, because, you know, I had seen spiders, but not really any other bugs. And I'm not afraid of any bugs. I flippin' hate roaches, but, you know, okay. I'm not talking about roaches. I'm talking about spiders. And, yeah. So, thought I got that kind of resolved. Bought, like, $50 worth of itchy medicine for me and the dog, and was putting it on both of us, and every day we had all these red spots. And then pretty soon I noticed my feet were just itching like crazy, and I was like, oh my god, I must have athlete's feet. And then I noticed my dog was tearing her feet up. Now I got 3 dogs, but this one I'm talking about is the one that like stays on top of me, literally sits on me, lays on me, leans on me, sleeps with me, and the rest of them try. But my German Shepherd is 150 pounds. He's a little big to do that. And the other one, she gets aggressive if I don't, you know, make her mind better. And if she wants to take over, then she will. So I don't really let her get away with sleeping next to me or sitting on me. Plus, she's the newcomer. She's only 17 months old. Anyway, the other dogs weren't showing any signs of anything. So I just thought it was me and her, and I thought, well, damn, do we have bed bugs? No, we didn't have bed bugs. No, but months go by, like 3 months, and all of a sudden, I'm noticing like calluses on my feet, and my feet are itching so bad. Sometimes I itch them until they hurt, and then you want to cry because you can't walk, literally. And if that wasn't bad enough, you know, her feet were getting like little hamburgers. I was like, damn, we got to do something about this. What is going on? And so I started researching everything, and everything that I saw looked like a fungus. So I'm okay. We've got fucking ringworm. And no, it's not a worm, but it's worse, I think. Maybe. Possibly. Seriously. We can't get rid of it. I mean, really? I mean, my feet got like to this point where I didn't recognize them. They were like red and black and purple. And these huge, like 17 extra layers of skin in certain spots. and then welts, and I mean, just real weird. And then it started spreading my ankles, and they got these little bumps on the top of my feet. I'm like, what in the fuck is going on? I mean, this has just been a continual thing. I've only been here 6 months, not yet, not for about another week, and the dog was doing the same thing. Now, she barely has any hair and a lot of bare spots. That's just the way she's built. And she was getting the same thing. She was getting little hives and little welts and little bumps, and itching. We were itching like I don't know what you call it. Like, we were itching like all the time. Like, and I'm like, you got to stop. I'm telling her to stop because she's tearing herself up. But I'm looking at me, and I'm doing the same thing. So I bought like every kind of damn itchy medicine made, from name brand to generic to completely making sure they had totally different ingredients. And then finally I went to the doctor. I was like, what in the hell? I think I have ringworm. I think it is spread from my feet to my ankles, to my legs, to my hands, to my face, to my neck. And I'm freaking out because I think I gave it to my dog. And the doctor said, absolutely possible. Here, take these pills, take some blood tests because they go mess with your liver function. They could kill you even. And you're only going to take 4 of those, 1 a week. And then you're going to take this lotion and put it on everywhere. I used that lotion in 4 days. $35 tube of lotion, 4 days. Only come to find out that that $35 tube of lotion didn't work any better than the dollar store tube of antifungal lotion. And I was using that on both me and the dog. Didn't get rid of it. Didn't touch it. The pills helped me, but still the dogs had problems. So I got mange medicine for antifungal and everything I could find on Chewy.com, PetSmart, Petco, online for DIY for dogs, and then I started using it on both the dogs and me. Both people, dogs, on both. Whichever one was working. And now I've got probably $500 or more invested in itchy medicine, antifungals, and we're much, much better. But we still have it, and the other dogs got it. And so I'd say we all have a mild case of it. And it's horrible. I can't wait for winter because that's the only thing that's going to make it stop or slow down. In fact, I'm so hot all the time and have been since I was 37. I'm 52. That's when I went through menopause. Okay, so yeah. So I've been hot since then, no lie. And when you get hot, it blooms like algae. And then I thought I got rid of almost all of it. I mean, I have used everything, DIY, over the counter, generic, name brand, prescription. Okay, I've tried everything. So here we are. Still have this mild case for everything, and then I go to the spring to get water. I got like 20 gallons of water filled up, and I jumped in the car to check my phone, and I just got really hot, and my back broke out. My back was like the one place that didn't touch my back and my scalp, which it goes also. And then boom, I had like a patch of it on my back. Now I can't reach my back to put the medicine on it, and it's just me and the dogs, and not likely they're going to put it on for me. So I took a back scratcher and put a rubber band, Kleenex on it or whatever, and put the medicine on that, and then tried to do it like that for a while. But using the back scratcher to do it just made me want to scratch my back more. But I mean, how do you reach your own back, right? I wasn't just going to ask anybody, hey, can you put your skin on my skin and rub my back for me and touch all this fungus that is very highly contagious? Yeah. I mean, I have gloves, but who wants to ask somebody to do that or say that I'm contagious? And literally, you are. I didn't realize anything, and everything is a learned lesson since I've been here. For example, I didn't know shit about ringworm. I didn't know shit about ticks, and I didn't know shit about chiggers. But I know I don't have spiders, and peppermint essential oil works great. So does tea tree, eucalyptus, and all the other things I said, and even a lot more things. Spiders can't take strong smells. Neither can ants. That's another thing. I saw a hummingbird one day. It was vying for my minnow bucket, and it had a red top, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get a hummingbird feeder, and I got one, and I had a lot of hummingbirds coming to it. So eventually I ended up with 3 hummingbird feeders that were a constant battle because the ants wouldn't stay out of it. There's something called sugar ants. Now I had to research all this stuff, figure it out. How do you get rid of the ants and keep the birds? Because if you put something strong on there, or sticky on there, or anything on there, or if there's one ant, and I mean the size of a dot on a pencil, the birds are like, hell no, I ain't going over there. It's dangerous. I'm serious. They are hyper crazy about not not going on the feeder if they think, hey, there's a bug on there. And I don't care how small it is. They're like, no, I'm done. They won't come back until you clean it. So I was constantly cleaning it, but I had like 15 hummingbirds all the time, from the first light to the last light every day, and it was just beautiful to watch. And I thought, you know what? I love watching birds. I think I'm going to go get a bag of wild bird seed, and throw it out right there, right in front of the house, from like one end to the other, because my front door has a glass screen door, and the bedroom has a sliding door. I don't know if you can see it from here. And I thought, I've always sit here and watch the pond. That'd be great. I could sit here and identify the birds, their calls, check them out for the mating and everything. I thought that is going to be so cool. So I went to Walmart, bought the economy size huge bag, and I systematically poured it from one end of my house to the other. I thought, this is going to be cool. And the first day, there was birds, and it was all kind of cool. And I thought, this is really neat. I got out my bird books. I was really into it. And then, night came, I closed the curtains, went to bed. Next day came, same thing. But at dusk, I didn't close my windows. I was still watching out the pond. And I usually do watch out until it gets dark and then shut the curtains and stuff. But this day, I had done it just at dusk. Well, here comes a huge fucking rat, like 4 pounds, and parks its ass right in front of my sliding glass door and commences to eating on the birdseed. Which, I thought, well, fuck, this is not going to work. I've just called in the rats. And, no, I'm not going to do rats. I was freaking out. So, I was like, okay. To the landlord, I was like, alright, we got rats. Because I fucked up. I didn't realize that's what I was doing. And I scooped that shit up and threw it away. I scooped it all up, threw it away. Anyway, come to find out, it wasn't a rat. Because I'm a city girl. I don't know what a rat looks like close up, I guess. And I thought that it had, like, her fur like a hamster, so it was kind of cuter than a rat, but it looked like a rat. And it was about 4 pounds, and I thought it was a juvenile. The way it looked like a juvenile of whatever it was, rat. And I found out it was a muskrat. Well, I don't even know what a fucking muskrat is, except for that song Muskrat Love. And that's dumb. And old. And, no, okay. So now we've got all that, and he sets traps to catch the muskrats. He's like, if you see turtles, I want you to kill them because they eat the fish. And we have a stock pond. It's been stocked for years. This is a family farm, been in the family for 100 years. We've got catfish. They're at least 4 years old. Started out as 8-inch fry. And then there's bass. And they've systematically been put in over years and bred and whatnot. And there's a ton. And they're like, the smallest one I've caught is like a pound. And they go all the way up to like, I don't know, 3 or 4 pounds is what I've caught. I caught 40 in 1 week. But for 3 weeks, I fished with everything known to man, except for lures. And I didn't get anything, not anything. I fished with 3 poles in the water 24/7, checking them all the time because it's only a few feet from my door. And watching the ripples and stuff. I'm checking over there, see that. I'm afraid an alligator's going to run up, and I'm watching the ripples to make sure they don't come over here. So I came over here and baited the alligators with live chickens. Since they're just 75 feet down the hill, and they were, all up in my business with signs on their necks saying, come here, alligator, I'm your favorite food. I started putting food down here for the chickens so they'd go by the edge of the water. And I was like, screw that. And so today I'm like rewarding them for being, brave little chickens and nearly sacrificing their lives if there were alligators still here. But anyway, lost my train of thought about where I got lost here. Okay, so after the muskrat or whatever, he started trying to trap the muskrat. Never could, but he wants to kill everything that eats to fish. So we got bass, 3, 4, and 5 foot grass carp. And blue ribbon bluegill, which is 3 pounds to 3.5 pounds fish, and they run around in schools like 100 or 50 or something like that. Mostly on the other side of the pond because he's always throwing bread out and stuff for them. So they're just like almost trained. And over there, if you can get it right, because the pond is obviously not clear, if you can get a picture right there, you can see the school follow you back and forth on the bank. Well, I don't know if you can see it. Over there is a lily pad. I mean, a lily. The lilies, see them right there? Oh, let me see. Right there is, those are all, that's the lily pads. That's the clean out and all that. Well, that's where the alligators were bedding down. You could tell I couldn't tell, but I had a hunter come out and he showed me the way the grass was bent and laid down, the direction, and all this kind of weird stuff that I don't know shit about because I'm a city girl. That indicated something was laying there, probably several things, and they weren't all that small. I was like, fucking great. So you're telling me there's alligators here, but we can't find them, we can't see them. And here's the thing. Up until the time when I saw the slide, I was like, I don't know. I think there's supposed to be like a slide. I always see that on TV shows. And then I walked up on it, and I wasn't even thinking about alligators, okay? I was so excited I was going to be able to take a picture and show people that, hey, that's a slide. And if you don't know that that's a slide, then you're crazy. And I'm crazier. And, I mean, it's a dead giveaway. Since then, in the picture I just showed you, my landlord's mowed it down to the ground because I was flipping out. He's mowed over there where the horse is for like 5 days. That was all as tall as the horses, all that grass and all that. Well, anyway, let's see. Okay, so still got the fungus, mildly. Me and all 3 dogs. The hunter said, yeah, they're bedding down in the lily pads. And I said, apparently you're feeding at the dock. And I don't know why, because the fish stay over there. Because that's where he's always fed them. No one over here has really cared about the fish until me. And anyway, maybe they were laying on the dock part. Because this dock right here is a sunk dock. 7 years ago, they were going through a really bad drought. And so he let every bit of water he could come into the pond. And then he wouldn't let it out. So he sunk the dock. Then he put that dock over there, the metal dock up here. So there was still a dock, but this one is the sunken dock. I was using this sunken dock. Right now it's got bushes and stuff on it, but I was using that to launch myself into my kayaks and kayak around the pond and fish and stuff like that. Knowing full well that there could easily be a monster fish in there that could pull my kayak around. It's a 2.5 acre pond, and the fish are all not new. They've been here a hot minute. Like I said, I think the last time he put fish in was 4 years ago. And the family, this is the 100-year, his family's had this farm for 100 years. So, yeah. So anyway, there's turtles, and he wants those killed. Anything that kills the fish, he almost babies them more than his dogs. So, he wants to kill everything. There's also fathead minnows. We put some in since I've been here. Fathead minnows and shad to help, feed them. Plus, he was feeding them dog food on a timer back when he could afford it. He only feeds them sometimes. Like I said, they used to be on a timer, but his income is from his rentals and getting sidetracked here. And right now, I think I'm the only one renting, so we're doing the power bill with my rent for the whole property, which is crazy. But look at the size of those rings going out. I always wonder, how the fish didn't do that? Just saying. Really? Look at that. Look. Look, can you see that? I mean, they're choppy. Look, can you see that, how choppy they are? Yeah, there you go. They're choppy. A fish didn't do that and make them go all that way. I don't know what did. I've not seen any animals in the pond. I didn't see no alligator swimming. I didn't see no alligator sunning. I didn't see any alligator getting in or out of the water. I didn't see any other animal getting in and out of the water. None, because he has an electric fence around it. The deer's not going to walk up, even though it's not going to walk up and get to here. It can't. Well, unless it gets past that electric fence. And then he just turns the voltage up. So, anyway, whatever got in here had to get in under the fence or straight up the driveway or something like that. right where the horse is. I don't know if you can see it now. It's kind of getting darker. That's exactly where the fence is, so they can't get to the water. Right, like 5 minutes or less after I got chased by the alligator at the slide, when I was taking a picture, bent over at the water's edge of the alligator slide. Duh. I'm lucky I didn't get killed. But when I was over there, the mare, there's a horse and a mare and a baby, but they're both grown, and but it's her baby. Anyway, I'm a city girl. I'm not a country girl. I don't know what you call them, but anyway, the mother is a mare, I guess, and she's an ex-racehorse, and they're basically unattended. Everything here is kind of free range. They can take care of itself. I noticed the landlord hadn't fed them in 6 months, and I told him they're not gonna eat that stuff that's as tall as there. You see that? How it's as tall as the other one. Everything else he's mowed down. He hadn't got to the rest, but I said, you gotta mow that down. That's where the alligators are going to sun, and the horses aren't gonna eat that, or they would have ate that, because it's been 6 months since you fed them any hay. And he goes, well, the owner hasn't given me any money or any hay. And I was like, well, they've eaten the grass down to the roots, so somebody needs to do something. The horse comes running up. They're always together. The two horses are always together. There's a couple donkeys. The donkey always wants to hang out with the horses, but the horses don't care for the donkey, so he just kind of hangs in the back, but he always goes where they go. This particular day that the alligator chased me, I ran from way over there by where the boat is to way the hell over there before I stopped. When I turned around, I had 4 damn chickens right behind me, and it was like they were trying to sacrifice me because they were behind me and they wouldn't get away from me. I've never had chickens since I've been here up this hill. Let's see, I got it all blown up. I've never had them come up this hill, and I've never had them up here by my house. And since I got chased by the alligator, they are from here to that boat and on my porch. And this particular day, 4 of them band together, and they would not get from behind me. And I was screaming, get away from me. Don't you know alligators like fucking chicken? I mean, I was hysterical. For 9 hours, I couldn't calm down one bit. Couldn't catch my breath, couldn't stop shaking. And I was talking nonstop and fast. But my tongue was fat, and you couldn't really understand me. I couldn't understand me. And, I mean, I was just damn near hysterical. But anyway, I was alone. I was unarmed. I was at the water's edge at an alligator slide after witnessing at least 2 alligators 6 different times over a 3-day period. 5 times in 1 day and 1 hour right here. And the other one the day before right here. Man, right about. Well, I'm showing you the water and you can't really see where I'm at saying, but it was about 20 feet away from this area where I saw the one about 5 times in 1 hour. And both times it was at an hour before dusk, which, let's see, it definitely is now. At any rate, so with the fungus or whatever, I went outside and noticed that those plants, oh geez, you see the plants? Those are my